time of changes is to be true to yourself, and anything you do uh, is sacred. It's part of putting out the energy into the world of we are all one. And my first song was that song, was uh, the women's song of how, I am you, you are me, we are one. And so coming together online, pretty interestingly, does the same thing. It's just very, very powerful, proven mostly by a lot of different scientific entities, but the Heart Math Institute has really proven that to work with the heart-brain coherence, and it goes and connects with all over the world, and they've measured it around the world. So it's pretty remarkable that they can even do that. So find yourself on the floor or on your chair or on your recliner, and just settle in for a moment to this understanding of changing our brain, hugely changing our brain to, I exist. And I'm going to reintroduce you to the 21 Shambhala's realizations from the Crimson Circle, which is a really high level thinking spiritual circle that you're welcome to be part of. Just go to their website. And I'll send it out to you, since I haven't sent it out in a long time. But there are 21 of these, and I'm going to slowly go through these as we go through our sessions on Monday mornings. And I did this, about a year ago, maybe. I exist, I am that I am. Everything emanates from this. This is the passion of your consciousness. I've always existed. I have no beginning and no end. I am eternal. I can exist in different forms. I can exist in this lifetime as my human identity. But even when that part of me goes beyond, I still exist. Everything flows from this, your pure state of consciousness. So even in our rock and rolly ups and downs of whatever's going on in our lives, or in our physical body, or in our family system, whatever's going on, I exist and I am part of the whole thing. And what we want to do is expand our ability to shine our light outside our skin and recognize that we are actually, proven by physics, we are light. Every one of our cells shines a light, and then all together we are a pretty big light if we let it out. So even in our, it's really about, the end all is about love. I am love. So if you haven't already, resting and closing your eyes and finding the place that you want to begin, breathe gratitude through your heart. Gratitude, again, most powerful emotion we can have to light up the light of the body, to have it go through our cells. So finding gratitude, whatever you're grateful for, you can name the word, you can use different items that you're grateful for, different people you're grateful for. You're grateful for just being alive. Whatever you're grateful for, doesn't matter what it is, gratitude will light up your cells. Then imagine all your cells, and imagine lighting up the cells. So you're imagining, how do I bring that gratitude to every single one of my cells and shine that gratitude out through every one of the cells I have, that will then shimmer outside the body. Imagination is more important than knowledge. That came from Einstein, and he's one of my favorite scientists of all times. And I recognize that imagination is everything. You have to also imagine that you are light. So keep imagining, because we have to change our brain by making images in the brain. And if you're at all an artist or on your, you have any touch into paper and colors, you might play with light. You might play with all the rainbow colors and even stick figures of yourself. So breathe, relax, and feel. Witness yourself and allow. Then bring the light in even further to breathe, relax, feel, witness, allow, and joy. Bring the joy in, higher vibration. Bring the gratitude in, higher vibration. If you're working with vibrational levels of emotions, you can be happy, but happy is not as vibrationally, high on the vibration continuum as gratitude or joy. So play with that. This is a long time ago. Stephen Hawking's, David Hawkins. I'm sorry, I always say Stephen, but David Hawkins, a doctor who measured all of these emotions and their vibrations. So breathe, relax, and feel. Where does your body touch the floor? Where does it not? Where's your attention? Notice from the toes to the top of your head and out to the fingertips. Remember, you're shining gratitude to every one of your cells. Particularly connect with your mitochondria, the one that gives you energy. The energy of the cell is also the energy of the body. And if you don't know what they look like, look up images of the organelles of the cells. We're taught the organelles very early on, but a lot of people don't recover them to understand the organelles. Feel the weight of the body on the floor. Notice where you touch the floor and don't touch the floor. Then bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to the heart. This is a mudra that is a lot of triangles. Spread the fingers wide, thumbs are at your heart. Very powerful in your hands. It's all your meridian endings. And you are energy, you are light, you are pure consciousness. Ram Dass's famous words have always been, I am infinite awareness. So working with awareness, the word awareness and infinite. Then bring the thumbs to the third eye. So first 5 chakras, the next 3 chakras, imagination, inspiration, intuition, integration at the third eye. They're sensory perceptions of a higher order and of our time. So the 12 chakras that we're working with now. 12 chakras, 12 less strands of DNA. The 12 new ways to do the rosary. There's a couple more that I'm not pulling forward, but the number 12 is up. So tap the top of your head, open up your arms, either the elbows are bent or arms are straight, and just take a moment to honor those chakras above our head, the soul star chakra, universal chakra, galactic chakra, and the divine matrix chakra. And all of these are all part of the oneness of all that is. Then bring your hands to prayer position at the heart. Namaste to yourself for taking the time out to do this practice, honoring yourself. And honoring all of us online that are here. Sisters, we've really become sisters. And then bring our hands down. Take out, if you've been seated, then bring yourself down to the floor. Feel the body on the floor, and the very first thing we're going to do is feet flat on the floor or on your, the recliner. You can even do this on a bed, but it just is a little different in each way. And you're going to do the cerebral spinal fluid balancer by just pressing off from the feet, not pressing too hard. You're rocking the rest of the body from the sacroiliac joint to the back of the head. And it should just be a gentle rocking. And you'll see if this seems like it works for you. And then pause that action and bring the knees in. Take a deep breath in and out. Roll the knees in a circle. And remember, you can always have a strap nearby and use the strap for anything we do. You can always have cushions put under your head or neck or wherever you need them. And then roll the knees in the opposite direction. And you can always be doing yoga on a chair, a bed, a recliner, a couch. It works anywhere. You just have to modify to whatever furniture you're on. And then pull the knees in and open the legs wide, flex the feet, recline frog. Just the first stretch of the inner thighs, but you have control by your hands being up on the knee there. Take a breath, feel it. Then decide whether you want to lift your head. You lift your head and look through. And then you decide, squeeze at the pelvic floor, pull up at the into the belly button, and then see if you want to let go of the hands. So you're just letting go and deciding. See if you bring your feet up more, so you're a little bit more at a right angle. And you might want to have your hands behind the head. Just a first abdominal strengthener, also inner thighs. Another breath. And then bring the knees back together, pull them in. Feet flat on the floor, loosening the pelvis. And again, you can do this on the chair. Certainly a recliner. Eventually I'm going to get a recliner because they're so fabulous. I could have one in my living room. It's like lying down on the floor. And so dropping knees side to side. And then we're going to do spinal twists a little later. So we're going to come back to center, hands behind your head. And we're going to work with the abdominals a little bit just to wake them up, pressing into the lower back, squeezing at the pelvic floor, and then release. That's the most gentle. Press into the lower back. Then the next most gentle is press into the lower back, hold it down to the floor, and take that natural curve of the spine into the floor. Squeeze at the pelvic floor. Exhale as you come up. And you can go even further, feet off the floor. You can drop the feet down, or you can make the feet parallel, knee to ankle parallel to the floor. And you can finally, if your body will do this, keeping the back flat on the floor, you can lengthen the legs out. I like to go to the knees bent. Exhale as you come up, and you'll see you'll really engage more. Really slow, find your own pace. Then hold the posture for a moment. And then bring yourself down, pull the knees in, lengthen the legs out, reach from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet, take a deep breath in. Oh, deep breath. And then relax with a sigh. And then cross crawl on the floor is gentle, is tap one knee and just go side to side with the hand and the knee. This is for balance of the two halves of the brain. And then you could bring your elbows into it if you want, elbow up to the knee. Exhale on each side, makes it stronger. I like to blow it out. Then bring your feet up if you want, and you can go side to side, or you can lengthen out one leg with one elbow coming to the floor if it can. You're finding your own place to go. Honor whatever it is. Don't believe it should be anything that it's not. Then hold one side, no matter what form you've taken. Take a breath. Hold the other side. Take a breath. And then pull the knees in. Drop the knees side to side again, just to loosen the pelvis after doing that work for the pelvis. Then come back to center and find your bridge. Now you can make this a You can make this a supportive, restorative posture by just taking a block or a cushion and putting it under your pelvis. And you want to find that perfect place that holds you up. And then if you're using your legs, we can work on the legs by inhale up, exhale down. If the arms don't like to go up, then just come up and down with the buttocks. You're going to strengthen the back body core, but you're also going to do this amazing posture of the bridge. Now the bridge posture, I just love it because energetically what it is, you know, your feet are in the earth, and then you've got that first chakra. The third chakra comes off the floor. The fourth chakra is down, grounded into the earth, along with the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And then with that, you have the second chakra, which is your water. You know, it's everything about water, rivers, streams. It's how you go through life fluidly. It's how you know, sometimes have to go over some rocks, and sometimes the rocks are slippery, and sometimes it's smooth water, and sometimes it's still water, and sometimes it's a little tiny creek, and sometimes it's a really big river. And whenever we're manifesting something new, this is also the area of birthing whatever is the newness, is the second chakra. And you need the third chakra, the power center, the sun, to keep it into, to bring it into manifestation. And then ground it into the heart, leaving the arms over the head if it works for you. Otherwise, arms down by your sides or bent elbows. And see if you want to work a little bit more with the back body core, with the buttocks, where you're strengthening by just lifting the hips. And you can blow it out if you want, or just lift, you know, wherever you are right now with it. You're feeling the strengthening of the back body core and the strengthening of your new creations. You know, new creation or something that's coming into your life as bright star-filled energy, rainbow-filled, light-filled, and then up to the power of the sun, of the solar chakra, of the third chakra, to connect you to the power needed to bring it into the heart and ground it back into the heart. So it's really got this alchemy that's happening. So then hold the posture, bring the arms down by your sides. You'll feel them a little bit. If you can, come up onto your tiptoes and just feel it. How does it work for you? And then inhale, exhale yourself down all the way and lower down, and then lengthen out the legs, shake them out a little bit, reach from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet and hold your breath. Oh, really stretch and feel that, make some noise. Oh yeah, let it go with that voice. And then down. Take a moment, just feel the earth beneath you. This is a moment of Shavasana. Maybe you'll start to feel the shimmer that should happen after a yoga class. Then roll it to your side and press up into mermaid position if it works for you. Hey, that was our existence. Number 2 here is consciousness must be present for anything to occur. And here we're going to do some spinal twisting. So if you're hopping onto a chair, just do some spinal twists on the chair. If it works on the recliner, then do it there. But we're going to break that. My right knee is facing out right now, and I'm going to talk left and right, but whatever, it doesn't matter which side. You're going to just swing that around and feel that twist, and feel how you're really just getting it warmed up. You know, you could go right into a spinal twist, but you're going to get more out of it by doing a little bit of vinyasa yoga or movement yoga. And then bring yourself around and look over that right shoulder, or if you're on the left, look over the left shoulder. Now use your eyes to go all the way around and breathe. Now keeping the head where it is, use the eyes to go look side to side. And that is going to be a little bit of more balance for the brain. And then hold for a moment, looking over your shoulder. And then bring yourself back. And then dive into your knee, a little bit of a push up. And see if you're on a chair, just, work the spine a little bit. Maybe sitting straight ahead, maybe in the twisted position. Change directions. Breathing with that. And then pause at the top of the head and just hold it for a moment. You're going to come down on the elbow, and this you can do on a recliner. I know, oh, you know what? The sun is shining. All of a sudden, the sun is shining really brightly. Amazing. We're due for lots of rain. So this is to get that, iliotibial band, a hip flexor, a little bit of, not quite, but when we kick forward and back, if you can do this, you're forward and back. You can also have your head on the cushion. See if this works for you. You can, either lift or forward and back, or even lift from the side. Very much more difficult on the leg to do that one. So you're just, playing with this, circling around and seeing what you have in there for that side of the body. Okay, and then come back down, bring yourself up, and a little bit of side to side, hands behind you. So you're loosening. So we're just awakening the body here. So over on the other side, swing around. I always feel a little bit of a spinal adjustment. Sometimes I hear a little click when I'm in a spinal twist, or at least the first one. And inhale and exhale, if you can add that in. And then all the way around. And keep the eyes open. Look all the way around with the eyes, and then do a little workout with the eyes, EMDR, looking side to side, side to side, side one side, other side. Great for the brain. So number 2 is consciousness must be present for anything to occur. For any creation or experience to exist, consciousness must first be there to perceive and to call it into expression. So whatever we're creating, high consciousness creations, and then back to center, pause for a moment, lift up high, just see how it is. I had to come up onto my, hand a little bit higher, and then come down to the elbow, and just either lift. There's so many possibilities to do here. You can lift, you can circle, you can kick forward and back. So there's so many possibilities. You can put the legs straight and lift there. You can be up on your hands instead of on your elbow. You can be down on your shoulder instead of on your elbow. So what's going to serve you best? Which one of these hip building, buttocks building exercises is going to serve you, and which ones you don't want to go further than what your body can do, but you want to take it to what's called the edge. You might want to hold for a moment. All these things, just introductions or whatever you want to do with what I offer. And then swing it around front this time, and your leg is out straight. You may need to sit like this. You may need a little cushion. And if you're on, you can hop up and do a leg stretch on the wall or on a chair. You can just, fold forward for a leg stretch. And so you work with that leg stretch. You can always have a strap available if it suits you to pull in at that leg. So behind the leg, always important every single day to do that. Again, if you have any parts of the body that aren't working, like knees, then use blocks or cushions. And again, you can sit up on a little cushion, like this little one I have here, or any kind of cushion that suits you, so it tilts your pelvis forward a little bit, and kind of helps with sitting up. on the floor. So just see what that is like for a moment. I'm just folding flat back if you can. Your hands can be on your legs, or you can touch your toe, or you can use the strap. Just feel the stretch. You can point the foot and you can flex the foot, and you can feel what's going on behind the knee. And don't forget to breathe. And then back up on that side and then onto the other side. So I am pure awareness. I am pure consciousness. Without the presence of consciousness to observe and experience its creation, the creation does not exist except as a potential. So that's kind of an interesting statement. So find that on the other side, strap, hand, just a fold over, feel it on both sides. Notice again, does the hip need a little support? Cushions or blocks under the knee, cushion underneath the sacrum if it needs it. And consciousness does not arise from matter. It is the source. And it's the key to everything. Nothing happens until something is perceived. Sounds like easy, but for some reason, we got the changing of the brain to figure out that we're pure awareness, we're pure consciousness, we are light, is really, it's developed over so many billions of years, you might say. Certainly 100,000. And then up. And shake out the legs. I'm bringing these under you or to the base of a chair. Your hands, you can hop up and put your hands down on a chair or a wall or a table. And a little bit of cat-cow. The most important thing you can do every day is get the spine moving. So also, if you have wrists that get sore, then you might want push-up bars. Inhale one direction, exhale the other. And then hold one direction. And again, with the continued teaching and imagination that you are light, the spine, just imagine that you're able to change the form of your light by changing the form of the body. So that when you're in a curved spine like this, and the light goes through you, everywhere around you, everything, just how does it shine? It's concave and convex, so go in the other direction. Just feel the shape. Imagine convex and concave, both lenses and mirrors. Know that light and sound are also intimately related. They both are measured, and they're both waves, and they're measured as wavelengths. And then from here, come back if you can, widen out the knees if you need to, or don't come back all the way, just come back part way. Or if you can, it's child's posture. And then come up and see if you can transfer the weight onto your arms and come into a back bend. Again, you can do all sorts of things that represent these postures on the chair. And also on the wall or the table. Then either tuck your toes from there or come back to hands and knees. So you can tuck the toes from there and push up into the toes. Walk into downward dog and heel walk the legs. The second stretch of the legs, one heel down at a time. Your hands can be on a chair, remember? On the wall, on a table, on the back of a couch, on a bed. Then walk yourself forward, hang over for a moment and put your elbows on your knees just to get the body ready to come up. And then press into the feet and fully press into the feet. Take the body, open the arms up, do a little tiny back bend, and it usually helps you not to get dizzy. I can see them if I stood in the sun. Well, so interesting because I have the sun through my windows today. Rare. Okay, so then here we are standing. So orient yourself, standing, feel heel to toe. Oh, breathing. Let's just get this a little bit more here. Then inhale the arms up and exhale them down, bend the knees. And so this is kind of like working with the quads and getting, doing a squat, but you're going to hold it here. Now here's the first place to go. Possibility here. Now, what we're going to do is turn this into a spinal twist. You turn to the side, you can just look to the side, or you can bend down further if you can get there and put your elbow on your knee. And since I never can see you working on this, I don't know what you can do. So you can put your hand down to the floor and you bring the other arm up or bend the elbow behind your back. I usually like to stay at putting the elbow on my knee, putting my hands that are in prayer position, making strong triangles with my shoulders and my elbows, my hands, and right in front of my face is the hands in prayer position. Spinal twist. The awkward pose or the chair pose in spinal twist. Utkatasana, and then back up. And then down and down. So you can just stay here. So your knees are bent, or you can go a little further, or you can go a little further with your elbow down, or you can go further with your hand down. And you're just deciding which one is right for you and being true to yourself. It's your own creation. Gives you a new perspective, looks to the side, and then up. So inhale up and exhale against the back. So we haven't done the sun salutation or half sun salutation for a long time. And remember, you can have a chair right in front of your mat and have that there for your hands or not. So we're gonna just for the half sun salutation. We'll start with the half sun salutation. Inhale down and up in a little tiny back bend. And then exhale, swan dive down, bend the knees. Then straight legs, flat back, look up, inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up and back. And to your heart. So that half sun salutation gives you a really full spinal action. So it's a really good one for that stretch and the breathing going with it. So again, half sun salutation. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Straight legs, flat back, look up with an inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up and back and to your heart. Now, again, I wanted to reintroduce the full sun salutation to you. And remember, we've done it a lot. I'll just get out a chair to make this work. Let's see, we'll put the chair here. So I just want you to know about the chair because you do so much on the chair. So hands at your heart. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down, hands on the floor or on the chair, and you step your right foot back. Now, again, you may need to come down onto your knees, but if you have your hands on the floor, maybe you use the grip it so, and you can come back into plank. And then we'll come down to our knees, but here's back into plank. And it's very strong. Now you can come down on plank on your elbows as well. You can come back. And then up into upward dog, which we did before. Now you can do these on your knees on the chair or on the chair so you don't go down that far. Here's downward dog, here's upward dog. Downward dog, upward dog. And then down to your knees, back into child. And then up to hands and knees, tuck the toes, just getting us moving with all these postures, not putting them together in the full salutation yet. Walk yourself forward, bend your knees, bring yourself up and back and to the heart. Now, I know I might be going a little fast for some of you, but you'll see what you decide to do. A lot of it at this time is designing your own practice of who am I? Do I use a chair? Do I not need a chair? Let's see. So here we go. We're going to add the sun salutation to the dancing warrior. I'll show you how. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Straight legs, flat back, look up with an inhale. Exhale down. Hands on the chair or hands on the floor. Step your right foot back. And then turn that right foot to the side to come up in Virabhadrasana 1. Here I am, I exist, and I am pure consciousness, I am pure awareness. Straighten the front leg, arms come behind you for a nice stretch behind the leg, or your hands can be on the chair. So you can have as much support as you want. You can have your hands down on the floor if they go there. Then bend that knee and arms come up. And to drop the right arm or the same leg forward as the arm and the other arm is behind you. Past, present, and future all happening at the same time because we're just light. We're just pure consciousness. We're just infinite awareness. We just are all that is, It's a changing, it's a really brainwashing of the brain. So past, present, and future happening. You're also strengthening the arms here a little bit more, and then look up. I am the sky, everything else is the weather. Another little metaphor for who we really are. Infinite. I am the ocean. Everything else is the wave. The biggest, thing. I'm the ocean. All the waves are different. They come in, sometimes they're rough. They're all metaphors. The weather is metaphor. Then left hand down, lateral angle. Again, you can use a chair, have it a little closer if you're going to use it, or the wall or a table. You can use your elbow here and you can come down to the floor. So open the elbow up if you can. If not, hand on the waist. You get a new perspective on things. Lateral angle, then back up, then back up. Then bring yourself forward. Step the other foot back. Dancing warrior. Because that place within you, it's really the virtuous hero. That's the translation. I've told you that. But the virtuous hero. I am here. I'm strong. I'm confident. I'm sure of myself. I know what I need and want. And then past, present, and future. No, back here, I'm sorry, you have to straighten the front leg and behind you and look up. I forgot to put that in. You really need the legs to be stretched out to work with, to be strong, confident. And again, you can even use the blocks. Get down to the floor. Then bend that knee, then you come up and come into warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. The virtuous hero within you. I've had a lot of contemplation on that one. What is the virtuous hero? And then look up. I'm the sky. Everything else is the weather. I'm the ocean. Everything else is the wave. Then lateral angle. Lateral angle on my elbow. Lateral angle with hand on the chair. Yeah. Lateral angle with my hand on the floor. Where does your hand go? How are you being true to yourself in the practice? And then back up. Warrior 2. Warrior 1. Step forward. Come back into 5-pointed star. 5-pointed star. You know, a little bit of arm strengthening just for a moment. Yeah, rolls. And then drop the arms, bring the heels in, bend the knees, and get a new perspective of the upside down. You know, the world of duality. So here we are. We've got the upside down. You can put your hands on the floor or on the chair, however they work for you. And if it works for you to put your hands fingertip to fingertip, you can stretch out the legs with your hands on the floor. You can also use your fists or your hands, and you want to stretch side to side to stretch the inner thighs. First, giving them a little bit of a tug. You can also do this hands on the knees. Again, hands on the chairs. There's nothing you can't figure out how to do in yoga on all the different possibilities, with all the different possibilities. Then hold one side and just see how that feels. You can look straight down at the floor. And you can, again, fingertips could be flat. And the other way, hold for a moment. Feel what's going on there. Where is it being stretched? Don't overstretch. Just feel it. Notice the tightness. Go back to the other side just for a moment. And the other side just for a moment. Take another underneath there, upside down view. And then press into the feet and bring yourself up into warrior goddess. And we all need the lion. So here's the lion, right? Inhale. Pretty cool energy. And then 5-minute star. Bring it together. Hands to your heart. Okay, shake it all out. Yeah, Monday morning. This has been good for me Monday morning. It's an interesting thing about how I feel for the rest of the week. Okay, then a little bit of breath of joy. Because we're very joyful to have our friends all together here. I'm sending Donaby to come in. Let's see. Oh, Donaby's here too. We're all here. Yay. Okay, breath of joy. Here we go. Ah. 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 Last time. Ah. And then hook up just in case you get dizzy. And even if you don't get dizzy, it's something to learn if you are ever nauseated or dizzy or just a little bit wobbly. Third finger in the belly button, third finger, that's third eye. It really works. Okay. 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 Just find yourself for a little bit of balance work. Your chair can be right in front of you. Come over to the right foot, bend the knee, get your weight over there. Then remember I'm giving you options to keep the toe on the floor and have your hands at your heart. This is the tree, Virabhadrasana. We have a lot of things to learn from the tree. And you can bring it up, focus attention, concentration. Maybe you've got a finger on a wall. Maybe you got a finger on a chair. If you have the full flexibility here, then you could bring it all the way up, press it into your knee. I would need to hold on to something to do that at this point in my life, and especially on a rug and a mat, wobbly. So, but you can put your hands up high above your head, at your heart, out. Where do you want to put your hands? They're very expressive. They're like your branches. Then let go of that side, get onto the other side. You know, really make that shift. Again, you can start out by just doing the balance here. Focus, attention, concentration, hands at your heart. Simple. Hands holding on to something, even another way. And then you can lift it up above the ankle, below the knee. Never on the knee. You know, weak place, knee. The knee's always a weak place. So then your hands get to be expressive. What do you want your branches to do? You know, so expressive. Or hands traditional, lace the fingers, point your finger up. Now you can see how it's wobbly enough that I'm moving, okay, and then let it go. Back to the other side. I'm going to show you Warrior 3 today. We've done a lot of different, you know, we've done the dancer, which you could do. It's the one where you bring your leg up at 90 degrees, you put it up on a chair too, you can put it on a block, you can put it out, but you're doing basically balancing on one foot. So the balance is really important to practice like this. But I want to show you Warrior 3. So Warrior 3 is really, and a chair or something for some people is really effective, is you spread out your hands, you hold onto the chair and you just bring the back foot up. So you decide, do I want a chair? If you can go down further on the chair, you turn it around and have the bottom of the chair and bring that up. Because what you really want to do is you put your hands at your heart, get onto the left foot, or get onto the right foot, and then lift that back leg up, flex the foot off the floor, and then look down, look down, look down, look down, look down, and put your arms out, if you can do that too. And that's the Warrior 3. Warrior 3. So you can figure out, does that work for me or not? And then down. Try the other side. It's just a trial because we haven't done this one in a long time, and really long time. So you get into the opposite foot. That was my right foot because it's always my stronger leg. I always like to go there first. Then go to for my less strong leg, and I feel it. And I'm going to decide, do I want a chair? Top of the chair, bottom of the chair, wall, or do I want to try, put my hands on my heart and try, how much can I balance here, lifting that back foot up, going really slow and deciding, do I want to hold on or can I put my hands someplace else? I probably could do this on a floor a little bit better. So I'm going to use the chair. But that's standing with one leg straight, the other one straight, and then the toe pointed down. And then down. Just see how you did with that. That was just a new one. It takes a lot of strength in both all of the buttocks muscles. So that's part of what we do. To strengthen those muscles that we did in the beginning. Then drop the chin to the chest and come very slowly down to the floor or the chair or your bed, and drop the chin to the chest and roll down the spine. Breathing, stepping back down to the knees and all the way around to the back. And bringing yourself down. Now, we've done a lot of different things at the end of the class here. I've offered you rolling up an extra mat or a blanket or these long cushions and putting them underneath and taking 2 blocks, if you have them or if that works for you, or cushions, and you put them under your knees and you're in a restorative posture called reclined goddess. Now you can do this without the cushions and without the blocks, if your body likes it, to have the weight of the legs open up here with the soles of the feet together. You can take your fists or your hands and just put them under the trochanter joint there at the pelvis, and that gives you a little bit of support, to just like a block would under your knee. So it's just a different way. It's another one of the warrior of the, it's not in warrior series, but it's reclined goddess. And it's like the warrior goddess, really wide open, open-hearted, hands wide. Here, just resting the hands down, making this a restful posture. If there's anything else you want to do before we close, then now would be the time to do that. If you have something in mind. If you do have something for your eyes, you can always put something over your eyes for a few minutes. And then just start to feel the body resting and in stillness as you slow down the breath. The gentlest breath you can find. The effortless breath. Notice if you just need Shavasana for 5 minutes, or you don't, or a posture if it suits you. Letting go into the weight of the body. Gentle, comfortable, effortless breath. Relax from the toes to the knees. Relax the legs. Let everything get a little heavier, even if you're in a posture, just let it get heavier. Respond to gravity. Know that you're not separate from anything, including how the earth pulls everything to its center. The sun has been very, very active, and so have the tectonic plates, and we're not separate from any of that either. Relax the pelvis. Relax the spine. Relax the inner organs. Relax the ribs. Relax the shoulders. Relax the arms, the elbows, the forearm, the upper arm, the wrists, the fingers. Feel the weight of the body as it relaxes and gets heavier. Breathe gratitude through the heart. Imagining you are, and you can breathe gratitude through the heart. So it requires imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. It requires all of it. Let the face relax, the jaw relax, opening the mouth as though a grain of rice can sit between the teeth, the cheeks, the forehead, the eyes. Let them sink a little bit deeper into the eye sockets. Everything relaxed, fully relaxed, feeling the full weight from head to toe of the body. Where does the body touch the floor, and where does it not touch the floor? Sounds and smells and the feeling of air on your skin. How you come to this moment. And if you can muster it before if it feels right for you, before we get up, join me in an Om. So take a deep breath in and inhale. Then remember, you can just rest here as long as you need to. You do not have to come back. I'm gonna slowly unwind and come back and guide myself up. So I'm taking my blocks out, lengthening out my legs, feeling it. Feeling each stage of the awakening. Notice gravity. I'm going to roll over to my side into fetal position and just sit and just feel gravity pull. Then be in this familiar, very familiar position that, you know, brings us back to our very beginnings in the womb. Then pressing up with my hands, I come to my main position. And just let it settle for a moment. Feel the water in your body as it's pulled to the center of the earth. The shift of water is what we feel. And then onto hands and knees, and take a moment to honor the four-leggeds. Then come up to three-leggeds and honor the two-leggeds and honor the two-leggeds. And then the center. And namaste, peace, shalom, salam, kwak shanti, pache mir, malavia, frieden, hang sam. May we all have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. And thank you for being here.